So our first Life of Purpose Award winner, I had the fortune, of course, following her career as a person who loved basketball, who wasn't quite tall enough nor athletic enough to take it any further. And every time I heard her speak in any stadium, I was always amazed at the fact that she was not afraid to break barriers. And so when we were putting together the list of people that were the candidates for the Life of Purpose Awards, we really wanted to honor two things. The first thing we wanted to honor is people that would conquer and were not afraid to face barriers. So our first Life of Purpose Award goes to an amazing woman. I'm sure all of you know her already. And the specific aspect that we are honoring tonight is the fact that she has broken every single barrier in her path. Nancy Lieberman, our first Life of Purpose Award winner. We're going to let you talk, and then we'll give you another award.
Really?
Yeah?
Okay.
This one here.
Thank you, Terry, for taking that crystal out of this house on like the third floor and giving it to me. I mean, we're talking about a purpose and budget. Thank you. Appreciate that. Secondly, I'm not used to being around short white people, okay? So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm only kidding about that. First, I would like to thank everybody here for being here tonight, because, you know, we have to be around positive influences and positive people. And when I think about people coming together for a purpose to make a difference, everybody, you know, Terry has her story, I have my story, you have your story. I had three dominant people in my life, three incredible men. The first, who I am proud to say he's not only my hero, my mentor, but a friend for life. His name is Muhammad Ali. And this man changed my life. Because, same story, poor kid, one-parent family, growing up in New York, turning the heat, the lights off, and my brother looked at me at 8 years old, and I went, "What happened?" He said, "We're poor." I said, "You're poor. I'm not poor. You want to be poor? You can be poor. You can be anything you want to be." And I talk like this because I was from New York, and I hadn't paid $2,000 yet to lose my accent, working for ESPN. And now I'm articulate. But I looked at my brother that day in New York and I said, Cliff, if you want to be poor, you can be poor, because that's not the life that I'm going to live. And then I saw this man on TV shortly thereafter, and he said, "I'm the greatest of all time. I beat Joe Frazier like I beat George Foreman, like I beat Sonny Liston back in 1964. I'm too pretty not to be the champion of the world. I am the greatest." And I was 10, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I ran in to my mother, and I said, "I'm going to be the greatest of all times." And she says, "What are you doing, and why are you talking like that?" I said, "Because I'm going to be the champion of the world. I'm going to knock you out in 3 rounds. She says, "I am your mother." I said, 2 rounds. That man changed my life. He hit my heart. What didn't look equal was equal. The black heavyweight champion of the world, the little Jewish kid from New York who was a girl. He told me I could be whatever I wanted to be in my life, and that's why I'm here today with you. The other person who deeply influenced my life was a man that I met by accident. I think you guys might know his name. His name is Warren Buffett. Mr. Buffett has been a friend of mine for over 25 years. Anytime he needs to know anything about sports, he calls me. Anytime I need to know anything about finance or a big decision in my life, I call him. And he's been just an incredible guy because, as Terry said, loyalty, he sees a bigger picture, he does things not emotional, he does things with confidence. Another person who affected me, and I really believe it's the genesis of who I am today, was Michael Jackson. I'm friends with the Jackson family since 1984. Been at the house, been around these guys. Who wants to heal the world more than Michael Jackson? Who took more crap and judgment than Michael Jackson? Who in death, we are finding out that this man gave over $300 million to charity and was the true article and took that judgment. Be who you are in the light that you are in the dark. Don't act like you're nice if you're not. Just be who you are. And for a purpose, Warren says to me all the time, he goes, Nancy, what's your legacy? And I always say, if you get a cell phone, I'll get a legacy. I mean, it's not like you don't have the money for it. I mean, come on. The whole minute thing, that doesn't affect you. You don't even need rollover stuff. But what he has taught me is that we come in equal and we leave equal. So what is it that you're doing in between? Let's say you sign up and you take Mindy and you take, this great program that Terry's putting together, and you do all this incredible stuff and you become successful beyond your wildest dreams. You know what? It ain't going with you. And if you think it's going with you, I'm going to give you my cell number because I want you to call me. I want you to tell me how it's going down and how it's happening. Because it's not yours. We are just managing God's stuff. So what are you doing with your money? What are you doing with your success? Are you truly helping people? Because helping people, that's the thumbprint of your legacy of who you really are. There's who you think you are, there's who people think you are, and then there's the synthesis of who you really are. Who are you? And that's why I thank you from the bottom of my heart, for giving me something like this, because I don't deserve anything. I'm just doing what I do. And if each one of you will just do what you do with the right spirit and the right heart and serve people. Muhammad says service to others is the rent you pay for your time here on earth. Service to others. What can I do for you tonight? How can I help you? You know what? I have the right to make you better. I don't even know some of you guys, or I say guys because I'm from New York. I know Scott Murray. I love Scott and his wife because that's a real philanthropist right there. This guy gives more. Matter of fact, please stand up, Scott Murray. Please. This man has given more time, more effort, more days. I dig your wife because she allows you to be who you are in the light and that you shine on everybody. I've known him, I've been here 31 years. He's everywhere and he doesn't have to be. It's from his heart because that's a blessed guy and he shares it. I want to be like that. Terry wants to be like that. I don't even know Mindy. You want to be like that. Coaching you up. And if you get taller and quicker, you can play for me. And Terry, if you go left, you can play for me. But the one thing that I'll leave you with, and I deeply admire you, Scott, and I hope I didn't embarrass you, because you are what we're talking about today. You are successful on purpose in everything that you do in your life. Because he does it with not expecting anything in return. If you do things with no expectation, you're going to be really happy. Because I know rich people who are really poor, and I know poor people who are really rich. And what Terry, it doesn't matter how great her program is or how great their new partnership and business is going to be. If you don't believe in you, then you will fail. Because if you don't believe in you, why should I believe in you? I know this for a fact. I know the fact that 30 years later, I found out that I affected Pat Riley's life. I said, how the heck did I affect your life? You're Pat Riley. You won all these championships. He goes, Nancy, in 1980, you played for me. My first coaching gig with the Lakers, I was his point guard in the summer league. And he says to me, I said, so what did I do? He says, Nancy, every day you showed up at practice and you acted like you were the best player on the floor. I said, I wasn't? Serious? You're telling me this now at 50? And he said, but you were overmatched. They were bigger, they were stronger, they were quicker, they jumped over you, and every time, solutions. I knew I wouldn't get on the court, so every time he'd say, you know what, today we're going to run this drill. He goes, who knows how to do it? I said, I do, coach. I know how to run it. I had no clue. But my teammates behind me, they didn't know it either. So I'd step out on the court and he'd put me through the drill, and if I made a mistake, they will coach you up, they will correct you, they will give you solutions. The solution to coming down with your right hand is to have your head up and survey what's in front of you, where can I go? But before you can have a solution, you better be fearless. You must not be afraid and dwell on failure. You must think about the positive. What if I do this? What happens if I do that? If you think negative, that's all your company and your group is going to be, is negative. If you think positively, like when they said a girl can't coach a men's basketball team and Donnie Nelson gave me this opportunity, you know, I'm thinking of solutions. Well, you're not going to be able to coach them. These are NBA guys in level. You know what? I don't know it all, but I know a lot of people who know a lot. And I reached out to those guys, from Coach Carlisle to Vinny Del Negro to Alvin Gentry to Mike Tomlin to Jason Garrett to Joe Girardi. I reached out to everybody that would actually pick up the phone and talk to me. Tell me what I need to know. Help me navigate some of the things that are going to be in my way. These ladies are going to help you navigate, because you're going to trust them with one of your most powerful possessions, which is your hard-earned time and money. But you can't be afraid of failure. If you're afraid of failure, then everything you do is going to be mired in self-doubt. You're going to be wasting your time. So you better believe in yourself. The only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude and belief. There's going to be people that tell you what you can't be. I had this discussion with the Jacksons. Nancy, they're going to judge us. They're going to judge us. And you know what? This is what I remember. An arm being placed on my arm by Michael, and Michael looking at me saying, we can do this. We can do this together. We can make a difference together. That's why I miss people like that. I miss Warren, you know, I miss when Warren Buffett is, you know, now he's wants to get more taxed. So you know, but I'm going to end this thing because we've got a lot of, you know, wonderful things going on here tonight. But more importantly, I want to say thank you for you thinking about me, and congratulations on your book and everything you're doing. And for you people just taking the time to be here tonight. This is very important. You know, you have to be around positive, outstanding people that are not afraid of doing things outside the box. And the one thing that I will share with you is when I went to the White House, not this May, a year ago May, in closing, is I was invited by Barack Obama and Michelle to the White House, and I was with my son, and he just looked at me. He goes, Nancy Lieberman. I said, hey, Mr. President. And I went over, we shook hands, we connected, never met. We connected by the belief I was a safe area for him with sports. It was the day of the BP press conference. And he had already been just nailed by all the curmudgeons on the Hill that were, you know, Mr. President, you know, you're in trouble. He didn't want to hear that anymore. So we connected through sports, which is the fiber, a thread of our society. And we're talking, he goes, you know, girl, congratulations on your job. I said, well, thank you very much. He says, change is hard. I went, don't you know that? He says, but we, you know, we have to be strong. At the end of the day, we have to make things normal. He knows he's the first black president of the United States. He's got to make it normal. I knew I was the first woman coaching a men's basketball team at an NBA level. You have to be strong, you have to be fearless, and you have to make things normal. Make things normal. Do it with humility, do it with confidence, and be fearless in everything that you do going forward. I wish you the best, each and every one of you. You have my thoughts, you have my blessings, and more importantly, you have my love in your success. So thank you so much.